All right, guys.
Yeah.
Moving from frustrated, managers under pressure now. Let's go into the fighters under pressure. Let's talk boxing here, okay? The word now is that, what's his name? Anthony Joshua survived. That's the word, okay? But now we wanted to know, was that a champion mentality or, a decline? I don't know.
It was just lucky. Joshua was just lucky because Joshua was actually only swapped seats just before that vehicle took off because of his size and length. He took the back seat. Because the two guys who died, Latif Ayodele and Sinam Ghani, they were seated. Had he sat there, it would be history. It would be gone. So it was just lucky, and
tragic.
It's quite tragic.
Because now, if that had gone one more round, how that looked like?
Oh yeah, no, okay, fine. You've now taken us back to the fight with Jake Paul, but he was talking about the accident. The fight with Jake Paul. No, that was a sham. But I'll say something about what Mark was saying as well on the accident itself in Nigeria. That it was. It is so sad for. How close Joshua was with the guys that died in that crash.
Oh, yes.
The trainer and the strength. But Ayodele was his fitness coach, and the other was the strength coach, and it's
and they're childhood friends.
It's something that you. Very difficult for you to bounce back from, because he'd only posted a couple of hours earlier a video of him on Instagram where he was actually playing table tennis with Ayodele.
Yeah.
And then the next minute, these guys are dead beside you in a crash that could have been prevented. It was on Mark and I think have been on that expressway between Lagos and Ibadan.
Ibadan, yes.
And there was a stationary truck on there. It's supposed to be an expressway, so you're supposed to use speeds. The driver has actually been charged in court now on 4 different counts, which including dangerous driving that led to loss of life. And but there was a stationary truck on there. There should never be any. I hope there's an inquest going on in Nigeria beyond the trial of a driver who was in the car. However, though, what I was thinking, Paul, is that it has a much bigger impact on the individual, that's Anthony Joshua, as well as on the boxing world, in a sense that, and I don't know what Mark thinks about this, the heavyweight division right now is so poor, and yet it used to be the biggest draw for boxing in the world. So poor that the headline-making fight for the last year was between Anthony Joshua and a YouTuber, Jake Paul. We don't have any real, outside of Alexander Usyk, we don't have any real names that pop off. If you look at the heavyweight boxing rankings, there's no name that jumps at you, which will rush you to the box office to pick up your ticket for the next fight. And Joshua and Jake Paul made all that money. Joshua, who, in all honesty, over the last 4 or 5 years, has totally underwhelmed in against real heavyweight boxers. And then he was the one actually having this big draw. And so much so that heavyweight division has suffered so much so that Joshua himself would be the man for the cameras and for box office and everything to fight against somebody who's coming out of retirement to save that division, if you ask me, in Tyson Fury. Because since he left, apart from Usyk beating up on a few underprepared boxers, there's nothing. Yeah, he's back.
The only winners in that circus were Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul, and Netflix. Only because it was a circus. There was no boxing for 5 rounds. Jake Paul was just holding onto the guy, onto Joshua's trunks and rolling over. It was a circus, and it's a sad set of affairs for heavyweight boxing. Deontay Wilder is a spent force, and was only
he's ranked number 20 in the world right now. There's 16 guys ahead of him.
And the heavyweight, the reigning champion of the world, Alexander Usyk, he's not even a natural heavyweight. This is a guy who came from cruiserweight to become heavyweight. He's a very skilled boxer, in fairness to him. But there's the other guys, Ajit Kabaye, neither here nor there.
Let's talk about Tyson. Yes, yes. Yeah. Is he actually back, or they're just chasing big?
I never ever thought that Tyson was retired. Even when he said he was retiring last year, the kind of things Conor McGregor has been doing in the UFC, he wants to hog the headlines, then he says he's retired, but he's back. Same thing with Mayweather. I always thought he was there because, I mean, Tyson is 6'9", is one of the. For me, Tyson, by the way, would have competed in any era, Mark, because of his size and his footwork. However, after losing twice to Alexander Usyk, I don't know how much he has to offer to the division. I think he's been beaten by a guy who is much smaller, 6'3", who came from cruiserweight. I think there is certainly a very, very big void in the heavyweight division right now.
There is, yeah, and like I was saying, Tyson Fury, I agree with Mark when he says Tyson Fury could have fought in any era. If I look, say, at early 2000s, and the heavyweight boxing rankings had Lennox Lewis on top. An aging Mike Tyson was still there, but there was a big draw.
That was Vitaly Klitschko.
Yeah, Vitaly Klitschko was there. There was Louise, and there was Hashim Rahman, Evander Holyfield was still. David was there. I mean, there's still boxers you could talk
about. The Klitschko brothers. There are still boxers as well. I think that was certainly a better era, a stronger era.
Much era. And yet it wasn't the strongest. We're not talking Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and
that's the golden era.
George Foreman.
That's the golden era of heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, but I'm saying that so Fury comes back in there. He's he's done it twice before, so this is the third time he's coming out of retirement. So he's 37, I think 37, if I recall correctly. Yeah, and he's going to grab the headlines again. Whichever fight he puts up, win or lose, is going to be a big draw.
Actually, Fury's return, Mark, Fury's return was supposed to coincide with
everything about the division.
He was eyeing a blockbuster fight with Anthony Joshua at Wembley. Of course, now no one knows whether Joshua will ever fight again because it's one thing recovering from an accident where you've lost 2 fatalities, but these are 2 childhood friends. Just the mental state of him getting back. So we do not know.
Too early for me to say, to sound insensitive, but I'm thinking at some point he needs to step into the ring to fight for them. To fight in their honor, in their memory, and that would be the fight, because at some point he's going to need it. But the heavyweight division is so bad, it will need it more. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.